What's up? It's Max Sinclair here, yet again, from a slightly sunnier London this time. I'm going to be talking to you about a checklist, a simple checklist on what you need to get started with Google, Facebook, or LinkedIn ads. They've got different formats slightly, but they largely are similar. And this is the stuff that you really need in place before you're going to go ahead launching paid ads for your own business. Hopefully it helps. Let me introduce myself. My name is Max Sinclair. I'm founder of Snowball Creations. Snowball Creations is a paid ads agency. That's why I know about this stuff. And I like to help people do better with paid ads, find less fuck ups, and avoid those kind of horrible pain points that people go through when they first start.
That's incredible. Wow.
So hopefully this video helps with that too. So let's get started. Number one is a business with product market fit. Yes, you can launch without product market fit, but it's much better if you've got it. So what do I mean by product market fit? I mean, simply put, that you are a business that has had customers choosing to buy your product or service consistently in some format. So if you were like an e-commerce store, maybe you have like a market stand was your first starting point, but people are buying like hell. They love your product when you're at those markets. So you think that now is the moment. Every time you ever get any kind of recognition, people actually paying money, that's the important thing, not just your family telling you that it's good. Although my family are definitely not the ones like that. They're the harshest critics of any. And it's the best way to judge though, is if someone's actually giving you money to prove that your product or market or your product or service has product market fit. Number two is an online presence that is actually functional and effective. So this can be circumnavigated with things like LinkedIn lead gen forms, or Facebook ad forms, or Google even has forms. But realistically, you do want to have a landing page which is functional enough that it converts. That is a huge question mark for most business owners, and they always think they can do better, and they always can. So I wouldn't let this stop you from launching, but you do need to at least make sure it's fully functional. You have some of the basics in place in terms of a clear kind of explanation of what the product or service is, some kind of, testimonials and reassurance for the customer, and a very simple, effective form of some kind or way to go forward, basically. So make sure that online presence is in place. And in connection to that website, number three is conversion tracking. So we never launch a campaign with any clients of ours if they don't yet have conversion tracking. Conversion tracking, not just is there traffic coming or anything like that. We are in 2022 currently as of filming this. So that means we do not just look at traffic and guess if sales are coming. We can now track that in an extremely detailed manner with Google Analytics, with Facebook's Pixel, with LinkedIn's Insight Tag, etc., etc. And there's even other things like AnyTrack that we personally use as an agency on top of Facebook's tracking to go even further than that. So you need to make sure that your conversions are in place in your tracking so that you know if somebody's becoming a lead if you're B2B or making a purchase if you're B2C. That's just a requirement realistically to be able to run effective paid ads. So that was number three, I believe. Number four is some kind of content. So with Google, you don't need this quite as much. You just need copy as your form of content. And then you have things like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn ads, Twitter ads, all of these kinds of areas. They are ultimately display networks, so you have to display something. In LinkedIn, you technically don't always have to because there's some things like text ads, but realistically, you need something. And so that can at the beginning just be things like stock images. We've actually had some great success with stock images. You can do some basic editing over stock images with a software like canva.com. It's an amazing tool for people that don't know how to use Premiere Pro or Photoshop, basically. And to be honest, it's better nowadays. So you need some form of content, realistically, to be able to, you need to explain your story behind that particular brand or the service that you're offering or the product that you're selling. What are the benefits? Obviously, if it's a product, you need product photography. And number five is money. This is paid advertising. Paid means paying Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. to show you to people. So we recommend at least £1,000 ad spend.
You gotta be kidding me.
You can start with 500 plus, but every extra pound you spend is an extra bit of data that you can pull in. And if you spend £500 a month, and let's say you've got £1 a click into your website, you only have that many clicks to learn which are the good adverts, which are the good audiences, which are the good copies, etc., etc. So it's much, much harder to find things that work and ultimately succeed. So you do need money. You need at least £500 a month, and you need to be able to consistently spend that for at least, say, 3 to 6 months until you're going to start to get to a break-even point. Especially if you're not getting professional help, you're going to take a little bit longer than that. And number 6, you need this perfect little segue I just did there. You need the knowledge. You need to actually know what you're doing with that particular paid channel. If you just turn Facebook ads on, it'll take you to this crappy studio Facebook ad thing. You then need to get into business Facebook manager. You need to set up the pixel. And then there is 100 other kind of little pitfalls, which I try to help you with in this channel. So that's one path. You could try and learn about this stuff by watching videos like this. And there's so many other great free resources online. So do it, go for it. It just takes quite a lot of time to do that. So either commit, realistically a year of your life to learning that skill set, or you can try and outsource it to somebody like our agency. So that's the last part. That's number 6, I believe it is. Get some knowledge. So let me run them over. So we have 1, a business with product market fit. 2, an online presence that is actually functional at least. 3, conversion tracking. 4, content of some kind, if it's a display network especially. 5, actual budget and money to spend. And 6 is the knowledge and to be able to actually execute effectively on one of these channels, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. Those are the 6. So what's some kind of like quick hacks for me in terms of how I might help you solve those? So 1, product market fit. This is the hardest. You just need to try and sell your service or product, find people that are happy to pay for it, and learn and listen to your customers. Number 2, an online presence that's functional. This one is the easiest compared to how it used to be. You know, you can go to WordPress, Shopify if it's e-commerce. We're a big fan of Shopify if we're doing e-commerce, or otherwise, and get a website set up very quickly. You can go onto like Fiverr.com or one of these others and get to an okay standing. You know, you don't need to invest thousands of pounds yet into your website. Just get yourself up and running and try and make some sales. Conversion tracking. So there's many resources online to do this. The actual platforms themselves have good documentations nowadays, or, you know, hire someone externally to do it for you. Content of some kind. So we personally have subscriptions to Shutterstock for imagery, we have ArtGrid for video, and then we have MusicBed for the music side of things. So we have like an unlimited quantity of any of those formats that we then combine using tools like Canva and Photoshop if it's more extensive, and Premiere Pro. And then we use just basically copy over those things is generally speaking going to cover most of the bases that you need to be able to do a great job. And then if you want to go a bit further, you can hire, we have like external teams of people we work with, like creatives, to produce more like kind of deeper content for people with bigger stories to tell. Money, there's not much I can help with you on that. The only thing I would mention is there's a couple of websites which do fund companies once they have got their ads working in terms of a different type of loan where you just pay say for example, a 6% fee, a flat fee. So those are quite interesting, but you need to have the ads working to get to them to have it accept you. And lastly, knowledge. So this channel, there you go. This is my best tip is watch more of these videos and I'll try my best to help you with that. Or my other tip is just hire us. That's the short term. But yeah, these videos I aim to do them every single Wednesday. So hopefully they'll bridge that gap a little bit extra for you. I hope this has helped. I hope this little checklist for you sorts you out. We'll try and what I'll do is I'll list them here for you. We'll get it stuck on top, just above my hand here, so that you can have a nice thumbnail to remember to check against to make sure that you are ready to launch your first paid ad campaigns. Otherwise, I wish you luck. Please do like and subscribe this video. I love it when people subscribe. We've grown massively over the last few weeks. We've got to whatever it is, 160 as of making this video, I believe. And yeah, excited to go onwards and upwards from here. I make these every Wednesday, and otherwise, I wish you luck.